Hi everybody, welcome back. My name is Lynn and I'm Pretty Papercrafts 67. How is everybody today? I hope everyone is well and warm if you live in Australia. So today I have been making these little specimen slide mini notebooks. I'm putting together a new ephemera bundle and I'm just sort of looking for quick little easy projects to fill the bundle. And yeah, I had cut for an order, I had cut a heap of specimen slides out and I just wanted to use up my stocks. So I have used a die to cut my slides with, but if you didn't have a die, don't worry, you can always just cut a length of cardstock. These ones measure, what is that? That's 5.5 by say 3, and you just fold it in half, cut your little window, and there you would have a specimen slide. So if you don't have a die, you can still do this project, but I did, so I've cut mine with a die. Yeah, and so I just thought they're just a really cute little idea. I've made them with all different sort of patterns inside, just little pictures. There's Tim Holtz, and I've done a bird and some bird eggs and a botanical. So I just thought we might put a couple together because they're such a fun little project and great to have on hand for stuffing your journal pockets or sending out as happy mail. So what I have done for each little booklet, I've cut 2 specimen slides, and I'll show you why I've done that shortly. And I've just simply I've got some acetate for my windows. I've just picked some assorted bits and pieces, some numbers and things from my ephemera. And then I've also just got a couple of sheets of coffee stained paper scraps. So we'll use those for our pages. And let's just get on and make one together, or make 2 together, see how we go. All right, so I've got this cards, or this is, yeah, it is cardstock. It's like patterned cardstock, and it's very bright. It's probably not a colour that I would use a lot, but yeah, I don't know, there's something about it. I like this one. So what I'm going to do first off is I'm just going to ink inside my window, because that's hard to do once we've put it all together. So I'm just going to ink around this. And then I've got a piece of acetate here, and I just want to cut it big enough to fit inside my window. So I'll cut it off at about there. And if you don't have acetate, you can use vellum. Vellum as well would work really nicely, or plastic packaging, or if you had a laminating sheet and a laminator, you could run a sheet through your laminator and then that becomes like an acetate as well. But I've just got some. I was lucky enough to find a whole heap at the op shop, so I've been using it. So I'm going to cut 2 because I do have my second one, and I'm just kind of eyeballing. I'm sorry if that's a bit of glare. So I'll bring out the second one, and again I just want to cut it kind of big enough to go on my window. So I'll cut it off about there. All right. Yeah, that's cool. So first of all, I'm going to start off by sticking these 2 windows into my specimen slides, and I don't want to I want to avoid getting glue on the acetate if possible. So I'm just staying just slightly away from that edge of the window. And I'm just going to put that down sort of like that. So that's number 1. And then we're going to do the same with this one. Oh, went off the edge a bit there. And we'll just pop this piece of acetate down. Now, I do want to make sure that I keep it away from that centre fold. Oh, I've got the glue on there. All right, so that's my two little windows put in place. Oh, and see, I always forget. I forgot to ink up around my edges. Oh, well, the ink does wipe straight off of the acetate, so that's a good thing. Oh, please excuse my squeaky table. I've got to get myself a new desk. All right, so both of our slides have got their little acetate windows in. And I've picked this little picture here. This is from a Witchcraft Do You Do kit. And I'm going to pop that in that one because I just love the green of the little girls' dresses against the orange. I think that's pretty. So I'm going to put that one in there. And this was just a cut apart or a die cut, I think, from a Kaisercraft paper line. So I'm going to use that one in there. So I want to cut this down, and I think I'm just going to cut off this thankful because I think I will use that. And that should fit again just inside that cover like that. I could even cut that down a little bit more. I really want to try and keep that number. So that now shall fit nicely inside of there. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to stick this one down in place. And I'm just sticking it over the top of the acetate. Just like that. And make sure we've got it up the right way. About like that. A bit too much glue and we're a little bit crooked. Yeah, that's better. All right, so that's our first one in, and now we're going to do the same with the little photograph. So again, I can cut them off at about there. And that should fit nicely. This one's a little bit smaller, so I've got to kind of marry it up well. But anyway, we'll just put a little bit of glue down, like so, and try and get that in. That will do, because otherwise I'm going to drag my glue across it, and I don't want to do that. So that looks really cute. All right, so that's our two specimen slides decorated in our little windows, and I think I'm going to use this word grateful. Oh, thankful it is, not grateful. Thankful. And I'm going to pop that one there just to keep colours. I'm going to use a bit of ink on that one. And we'll put this one in place. About like so. I think that's straight enough. And on this one here, I've got a few different choices. I've got Forever Friends, which I do like. So we'll just cut this one out. So we've got Forever Friends, or I've got April 1975. They could work well with that one. Or I've just got Series of Numbers. So, or I've got a date. That's my birth year, so I thought that could be cool. But I think I really like that Forever Friends. I think that's my favourite. Yeah, I like that, because they look like they could be forever friends. So I'll just pop some ink down on this one. And I'll pop this one in place. Just like that. And you could keep going. You could do some numbers on there. You could put some buttons on there. You could set an eyelet in there. You could do all sorts of things. Now, when you open it up, this is not very pretty, not an attractive backing to look at. So this is why I've cut the second specimen slide. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it in half, basically. That one, and we've got the same with this one. Like that. And then these come in handy. You can do a double facing little specimen card. But what I want to do is I'm going to take these extra pieces and I'm just going to stick them straight down over the back like that. And then you won't see any of that messiness. And then just take a bit of time and line it up. Like about so. And then that hides all of that. So that's that one, and we'll do the same with this one. And I will line that one up on the back of this one. Just like that. This is a good little project for me too because there's no sewing, which is unusual for me. I usually sew around everything. Just going to grab my bone folder. I'm going to just give that a bit of a burnish down that side to let it make it lay a bit flatter. All right, so that's our little book covers done, our little specimen slide covers. And then I'm just going to grab this coffee stained paper, and I think I'm going to fold it this way. I know it's the lines are running up and down, but I just need that for width, so I'm going to fold both of those. And I'm going to do the same with this one. And I'm just using scraps of coffee stained paper. And then I'm just going to measure and put those two inside each other like we would a normal signature. And then I'm just going to measure on the specimen slide where I want them. So I'm just going to mark there, 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 and there, and then along there. And it's just, I'm just going to cut it down to just sit just inside of my specimen slide. Just about like that. I don't mind if it pokes out a little bit, top and bottom. I think that adds to the sort of shabbiness of it all. And I'm going to do the same with this one. And just pop him in there. And again, just mark where I want to cut. And let's go back in a little bit. I'll cut that first. Something there's a bit crooked. Get it nice in that crease. And I'm just going to cut it off at there. Roughly. All right, and then we'll put that one in there, just like that. Now, before I sew in my signature, I'm just going to ink up all around my specimen slide. Just like that, and I'll do the same with this one. Well, the more that I'm playing with this, I like it. It's probably a little bit bright to what I usually would work with, but I quite like that. For my birthday this year, my husband found a lady that was selling a lot of her supplies, and he bought me this massive amount of scrapbooking paper, and it came in an actual stand, a wire rack, and I've got that much scrapbooking paper, and a lot of it is in these bright florals and things that I don't normally use, so they're a bit of a challenge. But no, I'm happy with that. I like it a lot. All right, so I'm just going to pop my glue away. Now it comes to this, to sewing in the signatures. Now that is very white, and I probably would prefer to cover that up, but in any case, I'm just going to leave it like it is. Okay, so now we're going to sew them into place, and I'm just going to sew them in using a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And this is not my forte. I'm not very good at pamphlet stitch, I will admit. So bear with me, guys. So 3-hole pamphlet stitch is in through that center, making sure that you leave yourself a tail. And then we want to come back in up the top section here about, and making sure we don't lose our tail. And then we want to come back down into this section here, keeping papers straight about there. I'm just eyeballing, and then I want to come back through into this center one, wherever that is. About there, oh, we're a bit off, but I'm not going to stress because it's only a little bit of paper. All right, so now I just want to tuck this one underneath, and then we're going to tie that off. We're going to try and tie it off. So I'm going to use my needle as a guide. Tie that one there. I'm going to do a double knot, and there we have it, our first signature sewn in. So I'm going to cut my strings, and isn't that sweet? A little booklet. Oh, I love it. So it's only got 4 pages, but you end up with 8 writing sides. So I think that's such a sweet little idea just to put inside your journal pockets or to send as happy mail. All right, so we'll see if we can have success with this second one. And I even threaded myself a second needle. So once again, in we go in through the middle and making sure I keep my tail. And then I want to come back through the top section here somewhere, kind of just eyeballing. And I'm going to take it, keep those papers straight. If they're not exactly straight, I'm not going to worry. I'm going to bring it back down through the bottom here. Like that, and then come back through that middle hole. Like that, and then I'm going to run that one through, keeping those papers straight, and then again try and tie a bit of a knot if I can. I'll use my needle. And there we have it, and I'll just cut my strings off. Just like that. And there you have it. Little specimen slide mini books. And they're so fun and so quick, as you've just seen. And I'm going to just go crazy, and I'm going to make a heap of them and just have them for when I need them for ephemera bundles or to pop into pockets for my journals. So yeah, give them a go. They're just so fun, and you can just keep going and going. You can keep embellishing as much as you like. You can sew if you wanted to sew. I'm just trying to do a few projects that aren't sewing. So yeah. So there you go, everyone. Just a nice, quick, easy one for me tonight. Yeah, I hope everyone has a great evening. Stay safe and well, and I'll see you all again soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.